nice lecture from Ravi sir. He had expressed all his wisdom about data science, and being a novice, I'm starting from beginner's approach. I know that there are students as well as faculty members from different streams, so I'll take a little bit uh, uh, easier. Uh, what about data science? So the basic thing I've start with is the common buzzwords of recent computer science domain include artificial intelligence, data science, business analytics, deep learning. There are n number of words, but the basic theme of this data science was actually came up with the origin of artificial intelligence. And this term was first coined by John McCarthy in 1956 in a conference named as Dartmouth Conference, USA, and where he coined this word artificial intelligence. And from there, it was started using all across the globe. So his first aim was to give the concept of thinking machines, which have certain capabilities like automata theory, complex information processing, cybernetics. These were the part of initially artificial intelligence. But after six or 8 decades later, artificial intelligence is now perceived to be a subfield of computer science, where computer systems are developed to perform tasks that would typically demand human intervention. Now, these include decision making, speech recognition, translation between languages, as well as visual perceptions. In more simpler words, I will say that nowadays artificial intelligence is utilized in approximately various areas, various streams like vision. You see the camera photo in which it detects your photo uh, on the screen and tags you there. So that is the basic thing. And later on, when artificial intelligence took its more powerful form, certain tentacles or certain branches of it came out of it. The basic branch which I work is machine learning. And when I talk about machine learning, it is a artificial intelligence branch where a class of data driven algorithms enable software applications to become highly accurate in predicting outcomes without any need for explicit programming. So you don't need now to have programs, but you can predict something. So the prediction and forecasting, I'll come about these in later. So that is the basic aim of machine learning. The basic premise here is to develop algorithms that can receive input data and leverage statistical models to predict an output while updating outputs as new data becomes available. Now, the processes involved have a lot in common with predictive modeling and data mining. This is because both approaches demand one to search through the data to identify patterns and adjust the program accordingly. So another branch came along with machine learning that is also known as data mining. Now, till now we have all learned about various machine learning algorithms and we utilize it in one form or another. And where we use, like in Amazon, or if you watched a movie on Netflix. Now these personalized product or movie recommendations are machine learning in action. So that is another thing. Now another buzzword came out of it. It is for which about I'm talking about is data science. Now this data science can be described as the description, prediction, and causal inference from both structured and unstructured data. Now this discipline helps individuals and enterprises make better business decision making. So everything revolves around better decision making ability. And for that, you have to analyze data you have. These are certain examples from where we are getting data. And data nowadays, enormous data things are there. When we talk about enormous data things, like we can get data from historical archives, sensors. Nowadays, we talk about IoT, Internet of Things. This is based on sensors, and from household data to any organization data that can be based on sensors, and that can be treated as input, physiology, and there are other data sets also. Now, what this fascinating world of data, a lot of data is being collected and warehoused, like in scientific experiments, Internet of Things, web data, e-commerce, financial transactions, bank credit transactions, online trading and purchasing, and there are n number of things. A major thing is social networks. Other things are stocks, sales, goods consumptions, images, DNA sequencing, handwritten character recognition. These produce a lot of data, and because of a lot this huge nature of data, we have to go into certain algorithms to derive certain conclusions from these. Now, what to do with these data? We can do aggregation and statistics, like we can use data warehousing and online analytical processing, indexing, searching and querying. This can be keyword based search, pattern matching, XML and RDF based. Knowledge discovery, we can use data mining, statistical modeling. Then data driven, like predictive analytics, deep learning. These are the basic things which we have to do with data. Now, when we talk about data, there are a lot of things comes into our mind. Why data science? Earlier there was no data science. Still we are doing things, but why data science? And another term which I used earlier was forecasting and prediction. These are the two terms which we are more interested. But there's a huge gap between forecasting and prediction. When we talk about forecasting, it is a calculation or estimate of future events or trends based on scientific means, that is data gathering and statistical analysis. Forecast deals in time sensitive specifics. Forecasting may be either quantitative, that is based on numerical data, or it can be either qualitative in nature, and it can be based on context and usage, that is weather forecasting we can take, socio-economic business forecasting we can take, science research and modeling forecasting we can do. But when we talk about prediction is something different than forecasting. More of the times people use these terms related to each other, but a prediction is a more general statement, declaration or indication of future events, developments or trends based on history, observation, deduction, instinct, or arrived at by means of techniques, that is psychic deviations. Context and usage is mainly important for prediction based analysis. Any commonly practiced in media industry like news and sports commentator, pollsters, and in the betting industry, it can be utilized. It is strongly associated with astrology, tarot, or esoteric, that is psychic discipline. This can be utilized. So the problem again comes. I talked about machine learning, I talked about data science, but still the picture is not clear. Forecasting, I talked about forecasting, prediction, but what is data science? Is still we are unable to discuss this. Now, when we talk about data science is the need of the hour, and it has become a necessity for each and every organization. Companies require data to function, grow, and improve their businesses. But a basic question comes into mind before going for. Why is it that data science has suddenly become so important that no company or any sector can do without it? And the answer is data. The ridiculous amount of data that is being generated by humans and machines can help companies to take better decisions. And the decisions could be about improving a product or a service or a launch or of a new product or service. I have one thing in mind. This is I'm telling about the quote of management guru Peter Drucker, who has said that most decisions taken by managers are mostly affected by the reasons that either the required data is not available or not as per the requirement. In all the cases, the decision making is tough, not as per the need of the organization. Data scientists deal with the data in order to assist companies in making proper decisions. The data-driven approaches undertaken by the companies with the help of data scientists who analyze a large amount of data to derive meaningful insights. Now, these insights will be helpful for the companies who wish to analyze themselves and their performance in the market. Other than commercial industries, healthcare, there are different domains or segments where we are using data science nowadays, where the technology is in huge demand to recognize microscopic tumors, deformites, as well as diabetic prediction at an early stage of diagnosis. So data science is basically a science to handle with data. But another question arises here. There are certain traditional databases already available. Then why to go into that? The traditional databases are not sufficient to handle this kind of data which we are generating nowadays. And the traditional analysis techniques are not sufficient to analyze the data. The data science, therefore, is a solution if the companies want valuable insight from the data they have, and to find this insight and valuable information from a large data set, it is like finding a needle in a haystack. And the knowledge of statistics is not sufficient only to do that. There's another thing. I've utilized the word statistics. So I'm in the opinions of being a computer scientist that there has always been a duel between the approximate science persons and exact science persons, and statistics being a approximation science. They tried to figure out this computer techniques to form this data science domain. So when we talk about the data science definition, we have one definition here: an area that manages, manipulates, extracts and interprets knowledge from tremendous amount of data. It is a multidisciplinary field of study with goal to address the challenges in big data. And data science principles apply to all data, whether it is either big or small. And to handle data science, we have data scientists. So there are no such basic there are no such basic characteristics of these data scientists, but the data scientists, apart from being experts in mathematics, statistics, programming, machine learning, these are also experts in scientific domain they work. That means initial domain knowledge as well as these subject knowledge is also required, but this cannot be the properties of a single person. So when we talk about this data science, we work in groups. Some statisticians help us, some mathematicians help us, and some domain knowledge helps us, some computer science person helps us, and then we come to the concluding this data science domain problem. Now, when we talk about data science, it is like a forensic science. And data scientists are forensic scientists, since they look for clues and patterns using techniques only known to them from the amount of data only they can manage. So that means there are certain clues which they know, and the data, the huge amount of data, only they can handle. And just like forensic scientists look for motive for any crime that has been committed, data scientists look for a reason why and what needs to be done more than how it is supposed to be done. So, in my opinion, data scientist is basically not a mathematician, not a statistician, but he amalgamates all these subjects and come to certain conclusion. So the basic definition, again I am repeating, data scientist is nothing but it is an interdisciplinary field that combines expertise from several domains, and a data scientist is a unicorn that needs to possess diverse skills of statistician, mathematicians, machine learning, operation research, data visualization, communication, and domain expertise. So how data science works? So on your screen there's a diagram which gives a basic model how we work on data science. Okay. From real world, here it is real world, we generate certain amount of data, we collect raw collection of we do collection of raw data, and we move it into a certain this particular portion. This is called as data pre-processing. This is the basic important portion where the overall data is to be taken, and after that there's one basic requirement of data cleaning is to be done. Now, what is this data cleaning means? When we generate data, suppose if I am dealing with a college data, students will form, but there are certain absurd entries. So we have to manage those absurd entries by correcting or cleaning the data. That sort of thing is applied first. After cleaning the data, we move into the data selection feature, in which we have the operations like data filtering, data aggregation, or data querying. After this, we move into data processing feature. Now, this gives a view of analysis and visualization of data, how we want to look at into. Then we talk about different models and algorithms. We apply this analysis and visualization of data into these models and algorithms, and to generate certain reports, visualization of results, revisions, and we can give further on any aspect, and then decision making. And finally, the data is used for decision making into real world again. So this is overall process we apply in data science. What key things data scientists do? They basically requirement designs. They start from this particular segment, experiment design, then statistical modeling and mathematics they do. Then after that, data mining is there, then domain research, and then finally visualization is there. These are the processes they do often. Now, I'm coming to different tools, since it is a mixed basically class of persons hearing this particular talk. So what sort of tools we use? I'm using basic which I use and which I ask my student to follow up. Data scientists are use traditional statistical methodologies that form the core backbone of machine learning algorithms. So in term, I can say machine learning is a subset of data mining, data science. And they also use deep learning algorithms to generate robust predictions. So data scientists basically use the following tools and programming languages for handling data science. Mainly we use R, Python, SQL, Weka, Hadoop. There are a number of others. I'm not going into more details. I'm explaining a little bit about these all. R programming, it is a scripting language that is specifically tailored for statistical computing. Mainly, it is used for data analysis, statistical modeling. Earlier, it was basically used for statistical modeling. Now, we can use it for statistical modeling as well as time series predictions, forecasting, and clustering, etc. And R is mostly used for statistical operations, and it also possesses the feature of an object-oriented programming language as well. So it is an interpreter-based language, and it is widely popular across multiple industries. Then Python, it is the most popular language nowadays. Like R, Python is an interpreter-based high-level programming language. Python is a versatile language. It is mostly used for data science and software development. Python has gained popularity due to its ease of use and code readability. It is a open source available. As a result, Python is widely used for data analysis, NLP, natural language processing, computer vision, and it comes with various graphical and statistical packages like Matplotlib, NumPy, SciPy, and more advanced packages for deep learning, just like TensorFlow, PyTorch, Keras, etc. For the purpose of data mining, wrangling, visualization, and developing a predictive models, we utilize Python. This makes Python a very robust language for this data science. Then comes SQL, which we used earlier. Data scientists use SQL for managing and querying data stored in database. For data cleaning, it is mostly used. Being able to extract information from database is the first step towards analyzing the data. Then relational databases are collection of data organized in tables. SQL is used for extracting, managing, and manipulating the data. Suppose someone is working in banking industry, he uses SQL for extracting information of customers depending upon certain criteria that is there. For if I am using it for examination purpose in academic industry, so I'm using it for extracting information of either students or faculty or different papers, etc. So there are SQL, while relational databases are SQL. NoSQL is a popular choice for non-relational or distributed databases. Recently, NoSQL has been gaining popularity due to its flexible scalability, dynamic design, and open source nature. Like MongoDB, we are using, Redis we are using, and Cassandra. These are the examples of NoSQL. Then another word which we are using nowadays frequently, it is Hadoop. Big data, it is another trending term that deals with management and storage of huge amount of data. Data can be either of structured in nature or unstructured. So a data scientist must have familiarity with the complex data and must know tools that regulate the storage of massive data sets. One such tool is Hadoop. While being open source software, Hadoop utilizes a distributed storage system using a model called as MapReduce. There are several packages in Hadoop, such as Apache Pig, Hive, HBase, etc. Due to its ability to process colossal data quickly, its scalable architecture and low-cost development, Hadoop has grown become the most popular. Then there's another tool which is called as Weka. For data scientists looking forward to getting familiar with machine learning in action, Weka is an ideal option. Weka is generally used for data mining, but also consists of various tools like tools for which are required for machine learning operations. And this is also an open source platform which uses graphical user interface. So it is easier for users to interact with or without requiring any line of code. So people don't have to write code. The persons who are not from a computer science background, basically those persons are using this Weka tool very frequently. Now, these tools are utilized in applications, various applications, and now I'm going to tell you about certain applications of data science. We are finding there are n segments in our life, from the retail sector to logistics, from general outlook to healthcare, sports, finance, and anomaly detection and security. So, data science in healthcare has been healthcare has been a topic of basically importance for in our daily life. Data science has been playing a pivotal role in healthcare industry also. With the help of classification algorithm, doctors are able to detect cancer tumors at an early stage using image recognition software. Similarly, the diabetes prediction based on previous characteristics of patients.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes. Hello. Uh, during
No issue, sir. Please continue, sir.
yeah. It will take 6 minutes more. During this hard times of pandemic COVID, genetic industries are using data science for analyzing and classifying patterns for genomic sequences. Various virtual assistants are also helping patients to resolve their physical and mental ailments. There are n number of areas in healthcare in which data science nowadays is utilized. Then e-commerce, Amazon uses recommender systems that recommends users for various products based on their historical purchases. Data scientists have developed recommendation systems predict user preferences by using machine learning. Not only Amazon, Flipkart, and various other such marketing sites are using these techniques. And just to know the behavior of customer, what are his likings and dislikings, these can be addressed by using data science in e-commerce. In manufacturing industry also we are using data science, like the industrial robots have taken over mundane and repetitive roles required in manufacturing units. Nowadays there are paperless and no manual labor sort of industries are growing up also. These are using industrial robots, and these industrial robots are autonomous in nature, and they use data science technologies such as reinforcement learning and image recognition to follow the different instructions. In conversational agents nowadays, Alexa and Siri, these are common words which we see on our television screen. We know about Alexa, which is used by Apple, which uses speech recognition to understand users. Data scientists develop this speech recognition system that converts human speech into textual data. Also, it uses various machine learning algorithms to classify user queries and provide an appropriate responses. Similarly, data science can be used in transport also. Self-driving cars use autonomous agents that utilize reinforcement learning and detection algorithms. Self-driving cars are no longer fictions due to advancement in data science. Along with that, Google Map, you will find in your last 6 months where you traveled daily, how much you traveled by your vehicle or by on your foot. These things are taken care of with the help of data science. Also, you can go into this Google Map thing, and you will check out for in past 1 year what you did in terms of travel. Another area which we are utilizing disaster management, where we are using this thing, and as well as sentiment analysis. We are also using for sentiment analysis. We are also using data science as a tool. Here are two graphs. One is here. This is disaster response today, the response and timely response. And here the second graph gives me disaster response of target when it comes, how we react, and accordingly. Similarly, in this Twitter sentiment analysis, we take sentiments of different persons. We classify it depending upon the nature of data, and then we do data science to give validations about what things are happening at which point of time. This is all. And then since I have given just only half an hour, I'm giving certain concluding remarks. While data science is a vast subject, being an aggregate of several technologies and disciplines, it is possible to acquire these skills with the right approach. In the end, data science is a very robust field that best fits people who have a knack of experimentation and problem solving. It is available for all streams, all subjects. With a large number of application, data science has become a most versatile career field for students as well. Thanks a lot. any